Tensions continue to rise all over the world after Israeli Defense Force rained an airstrike in Qatar, precisely in Doha, targeting Hamas and Hamas leaders. The devastating effect of that very airstrike from the Israeli Defense Force has been confirmed by the government of Qatar as they continue to search through the rubbles. It has also been confirmed that 5 members of the Hamas group were captured from that very airstrike. That is to say that their lives were also cut short. But unfortunately, the leaders of the Hamas group, that was the sole target of the Israeli airstrike, were not captured from that very airstrike. As it stands, the Qatar government has run down to the Gulf nation, declaring in strong terms that there will be a collective response to Israel for that very attack in the land of Qatar, precisely in Doha. Even the President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump, has also expressed his displeasure over Israel for raining that very attack in the land of Qatar. Some other nations across the world, especially from Asia, has equally condemned that very Israeli attack in Qatar. Countries like Australia, countries like Malaysia, countries like Pakistan, countries like Japan, they have all lent their voice, saying that that violence must stop. In view of all the condemnation that Israel and Israeli Prime Minister has received from across the world, the Prime Minister, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, has just sent a clear message to the people of Qatar, saying, you can't be applauding the United States of America for killing or taking away the lives of Bin Laden, and then frown at Israel for targeting Hamas leaders whom they consider as terrorists. Make una listen to Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu.
Tomorrow is September 11th. We remember September 11th. On that day, Islamist terrorists committed the worst savagery on American soil since the founding of the United States. We also have a September 11th. We remember October 7th. On that day, Islamist terrorists committed the worst savagery against the Jewish people since the Holocaust. What did America do in the wake of September 11th? It promised to hunt down the terrorists who committed this heinous crime wherever they may be. And it also passed a resolution in the Security Council of the UN 2 weeks later that said governments cannot give harbor to terrorists. Well, yesterday, we acted along those lines. We went after the terrorist masterminds who committed the October 7th massacre. And we did so in Qatar, which gives safe haven. It harbors terrorists. It finances Hamas. It gives its terrorist chieftains sumptuous villas. It gives them everything. So we did exactly what America did when it went after the terrorists, the Al-Qaeda terrorists in Afghanistan, and after they went and killed Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. Now the various countries of the world condemn Israel. They should be ashamed of themselves. What did they do after America took out Osama bin Laden? Did they say, oh, what a terrible thing was done to Afghanistan or to Pakistan? No, they applauded. They should applaud Israel for standing and up to these same principles and carrying them out. And I say to Qatar and all nations who harbor terrorists, you either expel them or you bring them to justice. Because if you don't, we will.
Well, the deed has been done. What the whole world is looking at and contemplating and speculating on now remains, how is Qatar going to respond to this very attack from Israel? How are they going to attack in retaliation? Are they going to attack in the same measure back to Israel? Well, do not equally forget that Qatar has been one of the mediating nations calling for a ceasefire between Israel and Gaza. So obviously, that very negotiation and mediation, will have to come to a halt or to a stop. It means that the negotiation may no longer proceed further, as it stands. Donald Trump has also promised to make an official statement, a more coordinated statement concerning that Israel's attack in Qatar. Another puzzling questions many have asked remains: why was it that United States of American strong air bases in Qatar did not shield Doha or shield Qatar from that very Israeli airstrike? Because it is believed that American soldiers, American forces in Qatar who are domiciled in Qatar in their air bases have the capacity to actually shield any form of attack, any form of airstrike from any country all over the world. But many continue to speculate. Was it that they intentionally allowed that to happen, that airstrike from Israel, or they were not prepared to actually repel that very attack, that very airstrike from Israel? Well, these are speculations until possibly we get a clear picture of Donald Trump's press statement in detail concerning that very attack, or maybe when American defense forces makes an official statement possibly detailing why their air bases failed to or could not protect or shield Qatar from Israelis airstrike. Well, I sincerely hope personally that this very incident does not trigger another crisis in the Middle East, especially with the Gulf nations as well, and with other member nations across the world, especially those countries who have condemned Israelis airstrike in Qatar. I sincerely hope that it comes to a halt, even though that Israelis ambassadors to the United States of America has vowed, alongside with Israeli Prime Minister Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, that if they miss the target of Hamas leaders this time, that they will definitely hit again, and hitting again that they promise to hit on target. They also maintain that wherever the Hamas, group are hiding from across the world, that Israeli Defense Force will not fail to fish them out. So that is a very strong statement, which might indicate, when you begin further to explain it, that Israel is not backing out in targeting Hamas and Hamas group wherever they are. So that is the stand of Israel at this material time. But in any case, I sincerely hope that Qatar goes into another form of negotiation with Israel, either to help them in getting rid of these persons they consider as terrorists, in order to have maybe some other level of memorandum of understanding with Israel, such that Israel does not unprecedentedly or unplanned rain other air strike in their country. Well, at this point, I will allow you guys to be the judge. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section, and share this video. Man, another person here. God bless you.